there, YouTube. So I had an idea the other night after I did the weathering on this Hilux that I was going to try to make some scale dents and damage. And I've done one test area, and it's very easy to ruin a body. I got a little bit of dimple in the top of the fender here I wasn't going for. And I got an area now where the plastic kind of melted and I need to touch up my weathering. But as you can see, the fender looks like it's been banged around a little bit. There's a dent in the flare. I'm going to do another area on this truck just to show you. This is very dangerous. I'm going to use a torch, and I have to say I don't recommend trying this at home or without adult supervision, whichever your case. So let's get started. Alright, so I'm going to try to do something here on the bedside, this big exposed area on the back, somewhere that's likely to get banged up. The problem with the bedside is we have the bed floor inside, so we can't get directly behind the panel. So we'll just have to do the best we can. We'll aim a little lower, try not to melt and destroy everything. This truck is already wired with lights, and it's already painted on the inside. It's not the right time to try and do this. The best time to do this would be before you ever paint a thing and it's bare plastic. That way you don't have to worry about melting paints or damaging your wiring or your scale stuff. I've got bungee cords and stuff in the back. So I'm going to try to get my torch just up under the edge there, and I'll give you an idea of how long to hold it on there. We're going to try to do it as little as possible and make as minimal damage as possible as first. I'm going to turn my torch way down low. Barely, yeah, you can see the flame on there. And going to hopefully be able to show you. This is really hard to film by yourself here. Be careful not to catch anything on fire if you do decide to try this. Now I can see the bedside already moving in, so I don't want that. So I'm going to go ahead and push. It's soft. Give me something as it's hot. I'm going to hold that in until it dries. Turn the torch off while we're thinking about it. Now the plastic is kind of malleable here, so I'm going to jam this in here. Wish I had something. There we go. A flathead screwdriver. Make it look like something dented it in. And I'm just going to hold that till the plastic finally dries and settles again. And you can do this as extreme or as light as you want. It's starting to dry now. So now we got a pretty good dent right there. Let me zoom you in for a better look. That's believable. Looks like you know, going down a trail and jammed a tree in the side of the truck. And that took very little heat to do that. These bodies aren't resistant to the heat, so I think I'm going to try the door next. Now, you can see what it did to the paint on the inside of the body here. Let me see if I can focus. Oh, come on. So we'll have to come back and touch that up later. But now that it's cool, we can touch it. So you can see kind of what you're doing here. This is, like I said, this will be best to do before you weather, before you paint, before you install lights. It was just kind of an afterthought. I was laying in bed the other night and was like, hey, I should put some dents in this truck because it looks like it's been through hell. It needs to have the damage. So I'm going to show you one more place. I think I'm going to try this door a little bit here. This is my good door. I don't want all my damage on one side. We need to mix it up a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and get the torch going. Maybe. This is just a little propane torch. It's just got a can attached to it. I'm going to right there in the middle. We can do a little bit bigger area. Alright, torch off and push. I'm going to hold that in until the plastic hardens. Don't want to go too deep, don't want it to look fake, and I can't push too hard because I don't want to mess up my weathering. Kind of blow on it, help it dry a little bit. Get it from the inside. So I think that came out pretty good. Let's take a closer look. So yeah, it looks like it's bulged out just a little bit right there. Whew, it's still really hot. So again, I can't stress safety. This is not a how-to. It is just an idea. You have to be very cautious using torches, especially around finished RC products. You do not want to burn your trucks, which this can very easily do in a heartbeat. I almost destroyed my hood and fender here just from my first attempt, seeing how the torch worked on the plastic. Super sketchy, but pretty good look. I think I'm going to do something in the back now. I'll do another one on this side on the bed. So I'm going to flip it back over. And let's go right here where this part is very easy to get to. Make sure you're focused. Turn the torch way down. Get my screwdriver ready. And 3. Alright. It's kind of my ideal time there. I don't know how it's going to look. I don't know if it's going to look like a puncture or it's going to just look like a dent. Let's try some different. You could use different tools for this. Make a different looking damage. See how malleable this has become. It's just like butter. So you got to be very careful. I only had that torch on there for roughly 3 seconds. So I'm going to kind of just hold that from the back now. It is still a little warm, but it dries quickly with some airflow on it. So, get some light, zoom in. Now we've got some scale rash down here. I really want to do something on that back corner, I think. I'm going to do something on the front first. I'm going to move up here to this front section. Flip this around. Try not to... I hate laying it upside down because it's going to mess up my weathering on the roof. But, should have thought about this first, I guess. Alright. Get the torch going. Now, if you're doing this before you've painted anything, you could do it from the outside of the body as well. Now make sure you don't catch anything on fire. Like that, and turn the torch off so you don't burn your house down. I'm going to go ahead and just fold this in so it looks like it got caught on a rock. Look at that. Alright, let's flip it back over and take a closer look. So that way we folded that corner of the fender up so it looks like it just snagged on something and got bent out of shape. That may actually cause some rubbing on the tire, which could be scale in a way. Yep, I'm going to keep messing around with this and see what else I can come up with. And then I'll show you the finished thing here at the end. Alright guys, so I went around and did a little bit more. I found another, I was using different things. I was using like the back end here of my screwdriver. Kind of made a little bit too big of a dent in that door, so I got back in there while it was still warm and pushed it back out. So it kind of made the panel wavy, so it looks like more of a natural dent maybe. I wish I'd have done that some back here on these other spots. They're a little deep, but you know, it's a trail truck, so whatever. You can see the damage here in this fender. It dips in, and the top is all messed up. As was my very first try, so that one's a little heavy. Let's see. I went around and did spot here on the hood. I didn't want my hood and my roof to be perfect, so I've got just a small dent here. It looks like somebody might have been drunk and laid on the hood, maybe. So Did one on the roof as well, which was really hard because I didn't want to remove the interior. But yeah, I'll do a slideshow here so you can see all of the damage that I did a little bit better. And yeah, again guys, use extreme caution. This is extremely hazardous, flammable, well ventilated areas, fire extinguishers handy, adult supervision, every precaution that you can think of taking, do take. And like I said again, if you do attempt something like this, do it before you paint, before you put it together, before there's lights. Just yeah. Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and be safe out there. Enjoy the hobby, and check back for more to come. And here's the slideshow.